Congratulations on your new puppy. I'm the old dog and I'm not happy about that, but that's how life is. So I want to talk a little bit about getting your new puppy and some of the risks and the dangers and how we've decided to stock the certain toys and do some research about that. Usually in a pet stores, puppies are only puppies for 2 or 3 months, and then they're adult dogs. So not a lot of pet stores cater to the puppy stage. Well, we want to fix all that, and we've spent hundreds of dollars trying to figure out what toys are safe for a puppy, what toys are long lasting, what toys are age appropriate. Imagine trying to play a violin, if you're 3 years old and it's a full-size violin. You're going to have difficulty, right? So the reason why you might see some people's dogs are really bad and some people's aren't is usually people stumble upon the secret for success. They don't usually learn it. Well, we've got this system and we want to give that to you for your consideration. So there's a couple things. Let me start with a tennis ball. Everybody's dog plays with a tennis ball, right? And once in a while, we'll hear reports of strange illnesses or allergies or something. So think about it. Tennis balls, where are you going to buy them? You're going to buy them at the dollar store. They're very cheap. They're probably made offshore, maybe Taiwan, China, Mexico, South Korea. I'm not exactly sure, but they're not made of toxic substances, right? Who knows? They're made for tennis. They're not made for your dog to put in their mouth, lick, chew, suck on, those kind of things. So if the tennis ball company has made their tennis ball cheaply out of hazardous material or hasn't taken the care to think, well, somebody might use this for a dog, which they're not going to worry about because they're making it for tennis, then you've got a problem. So if a light bulb just came on for you, this is for you, for sure. We've worked and we found a bunch of toys that are, we can group together that are age appropriate, non-toxic, they're FDA compliant, they're green, and they're dishwasher or clothes washer safe. So the cloth toys, you can just toss them into the washer and take them back out. Before I get to the toys though, I want to show you about the training leashes. So these are training leashes. Let's set this down. One of the biggest problems we see with most people is that their dog pulls on a leash. You see the dog walking the person all over the place, pulling them around. Not a problem when your puppy's 12 pounds. But when the dog gets 60, 70, 80 pounds, it becomes a problem. This is the answer to that. Dogs should never learn to feel the tightness around their neck. If they feel that and you are resisting, you're telling them to pull. So most handlers inadvertently teach their dogs to pull them. This training leash is also called a slip leash. So the weight goes on the bottom. This is the puppy's head. This goes around their neck. You're going to hold your leash here, and you're not going to jerk it. You're not going to move it. You're just going to hold it firm. And when the puppy tries to walk in front of you, I've got a little too long, they're going to pull. That tightens up around their neck, and they go, oh, I don't like that. I'm uncomfortable. Then they back up, and they learn, oh, this is nice in this spot. They tighten it. That's uncomfortable, right? This happens over and over and over. So you set this so that when the dog walks in front of you, it becomes tight on them. And eventually the puppy learns that they are the ones causing that discomfort, and they find that sweet spot where to walk in. That's a loose leash, and it will, if it's never tight, they will never pull, right? So the harder they pull, the tighter it gets, and they associate their effort to that discomfort. And it's not you jerking at all, right? It's quite humane. There's a certain size for these. There's a certain type of material. Some work better than others with different slides. This, once you get it around the puppy's neck, you can size it with this piece of leather so it doesn't slip off. But it's very important to get the right length and diameter of leash right off the bat. We give you one of these for free. They're roughly 20 bucks. If you purchase the puppy training program. So we have a lot here for you to pick. Probably, I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's probably the largest selection in Canada, maybe even the USA, for puppies or training leashes, just because this is what we do, right? treats are another thing. So we've got treats here. We've developed our own line of treats. Actually, my two boys are managing this, and treats are just that. They're treats. You can use your kibble, but kibble's not really a treat. It's something they get all the time. So if you want to really motivate your dog, give them a treat that they're going to die for. And they will listen to you. They will focus on you. You'll have eye contact. They'll sit there waiting for their treat. Treats are like, you introduce them to your dog or your puppy like you would a baby new food. It's one at a time to see if they're allergic to it, to see if their tummies can stomach it, and that kind of thing. In the beginning, you only want softer treats, not hard treats. And you don't want to give them grain-based treats. Any kind of cookies with spent brewer's yeast, or it's basically garbage that these companies put in, because there are no rules in Canada for dog treats. People can basically do whatever they want and label it however they want. We, however, have chosen a certified SQF level 3 safety factory to have ours made in. They're human grade. They start human grade, but they're not prepared according to human grade standards, so you can't eat them when they're finished because they're just not prepared according to the standards of human. So how you want to train your puppy is you want to give them a treat that they're really motivated for. And that should be a low calorie, because you don't want them getting fat feeding them these treats over and over and over, right? So a low calorie, it needs a balance of energy and protein and the smell for that drive. And at the end, or when you have a breakthrough moment, you want to give them a high reward treat. So we recommend the Luggers treats. They are only 3 calories. And then for high reward, for puppy age, there's stuff appropriate here. There's beef lung, there's sweet potato, and we have a few more that are really good. If your puppy finally gets it, you give them that high reward treat. It motivates them even more, and they're focused on you because you're the food guy or girl, right? Let's see here. So as far as toys go, for puppies, there's a few different stages, okay? The big one is teething. There's a specific time when teething comes into play. It's not right from the beginning. The chewing in the beginning is different. And with this Choo Choo puppy pack, we call it the Choo Choo pack. It comes with a 5-page printable booklet explaining the 5 different ways that, or actually it's 5 different toys in the pack. It's 3 different ways that dogs use their toys, and chewing for teething comes later. So you have an opportunity between 8 weeks old and 16 weeks, sometimes up to 20 weeks, to teach them. You want them to learn and teach them to follow you. And if you have the right toys and not trying to figure out what to use, it's going to make it way easier for you. I think I mentioned earlier about the people that have dogs who behave. Well, if your dog, say, is chewing your moldings or your shoes, that means they don't have the right toy to chew. You don't discipline them for doing what they're doing. They're just a dog. You correct your behavior because you're not providing them the right toy. And there's 3 different areas, and we discuss that in the booklet. And we also provide toys in the beginning that are gonna last. They're tough and they're age appropriate. And I think that's pretty much all I had to say there. So there's 3 different basic ways to use the toys. We provide 5 different toys because some toys can be used for 2 different methods. There's a certain system of cycling the toys to keep the puppy excited and not bored. Oh, this is the same old bone again. I don't feel like chewing this. It's all the guesswork taken out of it for you so that you can focus your puppy, and it will listen to you, and it will be a better dog. Great dogs are not born, they're trained. So this is a big, big part of it. The last thing I want to touch on is some of these treats, these high value treats. There might be, the beef lung is I think $12. The beef lung is $12. So you could probably feed your lab the whole pack of beef lung in about 8 seconds, right? You don't want to do that. We have puzzle toys. I'll grab one here. For example, this is a puzzle toy. You stuff the treats inside of it, and the dog has to work to get them out. This is actually a complicated puzzle toy. There's some easier ones. They come in different levels. So you would take If say you have to go in the shower, or you might have to go to the store or the supermarket, and you don't want to leave the puppy just roaming around free to do what it wants, right? What it wants. The old saying that the idle hands do the devil's work. Is that what it is? Geez, I'm going back to my Catholic roots here. Um, but we also explain how to extend the life of your treats while you're stimulating your dog mentally and physically.